Great. Good morning, guys. So welcome again, Jahim. Morning. Nadia.
Morning.
Morning. Renee. Morning. Acknowledging you guys. I'm going to start to record right now. Rashida. Rashika. My bad.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome, guys. Guys, get your notebooks together, please. Get your notebooks together. Get your pen ready. Get your laptop going. All right, cools. And we're on. So right now, watch this, guys. What we're going to be touching base today is on market structure. So you may want to write that down. We're going to touch base on market structure this morning. And I want you guys to take some notes. Let's go. All right. Get my windscreen shiny. Let's go. All right, so we're going to look at market structure this morning. And basically, in the market can only go three different ways. The market can go up, down, or sideways. In other words, the market can go up, which is bullish. The market can go down, which is bearish. Or the market can go across, which is known as contracts or consolidating. All right? Now, the reason why I'm pulling up this chart, we're going to be looking at Great British Pound versus USD. It's a fresh chart. No marking is on it. And I want you guys to follow. Okay? So, not to confuse anybody, we're going to be looking at market structure today. And we're going to be looking at also support and resistance. We're going to touch on it. Okay? Very crucial part of the lesson right now. All right, so I want to be able, when you go into the market, I want you to be able to look at a chart and then tell me or tell yourself what is happening right now when you look at the chart. That's the fundamentals right there for you to actually know when to enter the market and exit the market. All right, so let's look at market structure first. All right, now we have a currency pair here. You may want to write that down. Great British Pound versus USD. And we're going to look at some charts. Now, I want to put this out there. We normally use and let me put this over here real quick. All right, so we normally put the marks up. So the marks, what I'm talking about is how do we analyze the market? First thing, timing is everything, guys. So you need to know that we look at the market within a 4-hour time frame. I know that the week, daily, and monthly is there, but how I do it is the same higher time frame. It is known as daily, weekly, monthly. They're there. As relates to the hours, use a 4-hour time frame. Now the 4-hour time frame allow us to see where the market is going, what is happening in the market out there. So the 4-hour time frame, you may want to write this down, 4-hour time frame, it is known as bias. It is known as a bias trend. So write it down, bias trend. Because the higher time frame of 4-hour, right here, when you click on it, it will indicate where the market is. If the market is in a red state candle, that means the market is positioned going down, bearish. Okay, so if the higher time frame is indicating that the market is going down, bearish, then guys, the only logical is that a 1 hour is doing the same. 30 minutes, 15, 5, 1 minute. So you'll see it. So normally the 4 hour is indicating where the market is going. It's called a bias trend. The other time frames that are lower than 4 hours is normally following suit after 4 hour. So we do our analysis on a 1 hour, analysis on 1 hour. So write that down, analysis on a 1 hour chart. and you do entry on a 15, 5, or 1 minute, you can. I personally do entry on a 5 minute or 15 minute, meaning you enter into the market. All right. So as this look right here, you'll see. Now let's move over to a a 1 hour. This is the 1 hour time frame. It will look different on each chart. Okay. And I want you guys to just look at what is happening right here. You will see different trends that are happening. So look at market structure, how the market set up. And the market set up in 3 different ways. You want to write this down. Market structure set up in 3 different ways. Either the market is contracting, expanding, or it's going into a trend. So let's say identify some of these areas, shall we? And what we're looking for. So right here, let's use here for an example. And let's start right here. If you look carefully, you will see the market is contracting right here. And contracted is going sideways. So if you look at it, the candles will be on the same or similar height. Now, right here, you can see it's going across. They're not going above each other, they're just going across. This is in the market where you sit on your hands. You watch the market, you do not enter the market here. When market is consolidating, you do not enter the market. Allow the market to play itself out. You may want to write that down. So the market contracts right here. That's contraction. Then it expands and go into a trend. So here, contracts, expand, and then it go into a trend. All the way up here. That's what I'm saying. Contract, expands, go into a trend. Same thing here. After a contract, it retests, contracts, expand, then it goes into a trend. Going back to a trend. So you will see this happening, and this is known as jigsaw. It contracts, and this right here, this is right here, these 2 candles right here that is wick looking like this. This is known as tweezer formation. This right here, tweezer formation right here. So I want you guys to take note of that. Expands and then they go into a trend. And this right here is a big trend. All this candle right here. So the market's always doing the same thing. Goes back into a trend. Goes back up here. Then it contracts, expand, and then you can see go back into a trend. So it's always doing that. Same thing. So you know how to read the market. Trend, sell off, contracts, expand, go into a trend. Same thing is happening there. Same thing. So all these candles right here, those are we call retests. So all this right here is a trend. So let's zoom in up a bit. I'm gonna change this color. Let's change this color to so even if you want to put it from here, same thing. All this is a downtrend. Wow. So while this is happening, and we're gonna just use this part of the chart, and it's consolidating. So this here go across, consolidating. So we're gonna put it here that the market is consolidating our contracts. So all this is contractions. Right here, I'm gonna change this color from candle, set it up a bit better. This is here is called a trend. And this here is called a bullish trend. So this is a bullish trend. Contracts here. Any questions so far?
Yeah, just one. I don't know if you could probably explain what exactly a tweezer formation is and how it affects the market.
Tweezer
What does
formation
it mean?
affects the market by the market retest and the candles actually exhaust. So it's an exhaustion. It actually helps to show you how the market is going to react. So when you see a tweezer formation, it actually depending on how the candle burned or burn out or exhaust, then it tells you if the market is going to go into a bearish state or a trend of bullish. So we're going to touch on that itself because tweezer formation is a lesson altogether.
Okay,
We're
all
going to
right.
touch base on a tweezer formation lessons. And actually you can go to my videos there on YouTube as well. And you can look at the bullish reverse signal tweezer formation, and you can actually look at the bearish tweezer formation as well. But what I want to touch base on today is actually how you guys can look into the market and identify the areas of what is happening in terms of contraction, expansion, and go into a trend. Understand? So right here, this is the bullish trend right here, and contracts, then it goes into a bearish trend right here. Contracts, and then it goes into a bullish trend again. So this is always playing out in the market. And I need you guys to understand that. Always, always, always playing out in the market. All right? So when you see this, for example, and here it is over here again. It contracts right here. All this right here is called contractions. Right here. contracts, go into a trend, and it continue to go up into a trend. Now, we also need to know, how does the market, what is this all means right here for support and resistance? What is happening? For you to identify this in happening in relation to the market structure, there's always support and resistance within price. Price affects the market, okay? So what you're gonna do is that I want you guys to understand right here. And let's start from here. And the simplest way I can explain to you how I learned it was this way. So right between here, I'm gonna change these lines to white. Pay keen attention to this. This will help you a lot. The reason why I put these lines right here, because support and resistance is always playing out in the market. Now, this is when price hits the market and it actually affects everything. So price affects everything in the market. At this point in time, this is known as higher time frames. So if we're gonna look at the market from here, and I wanna start it from let's look at the market from right here. Right here. Okay. And what is happening right here is that price comes into the market starts to contract, then expand, and then go into a trend. But I want you to imagine from right here. And this here, price is happening in the market, but you realize that it didn't go all the way up here to the resistance. So how you can imagine this is that price is always moving, but there's something stopping it from the candle to hit up top here. So right here, there's something happening in the market, and that is known as price. So whenever price hits, it goes up, down, up, down. In between right here, this is called a zone. So how you can imagine it, a zone. And how you can imagine it is that imagine it like a ball and it's hitting from the floor to the ceiling and it keep on continuously moving up and down. Now, right here, you realize it is a different time zone up here. So this is what you call the break. So it breaks. And zoom in back a little bit. So it breaks at this point in time. And I'm gonna zoom in a bit. To right here. So all this is happening is going into a time frame, and this is known as support and resistance. So in itself, what you need to know is that the price is always moving within support and resistance. Right there. So if you want to look from that perspective, price is always happening. Hold on, guys. So you need to know that within the zone, it is happening right throughout. So right here as well, if you look here, it started, stop here, and there's some form of resistance that's happening right here. So this is the floor, this is the roof, and price breaks, goes up into a higher time frame, and this is higher time frame, but this is a higher high. So you have higher highs and lower lows. Very important. So if you look right here again, right here, this is a high, but this is a higher high. Up here is also a next higher high. So you have higher high, higher lows. And all this are known as zones. This is a zone. This is a zone. This is a zone. All these are different zones. So what I'm saying? So prices are always moving up in the market. How price affects the market now is dependent on what is happening in the market in real time. So right here, you will see that it goes up and then there was a sell-off and then the market goes into a state of bearish, contracts, and it's still moving within support and resistance. So even if you see these candles right here, there is also a next support and resistance that is taking place. So it depends on which time frame you're looking at because it's always going up and down. So if you go on a lower time frame, you will see it looks different. So what I'm saying, guys, do you understand?
Barely, if I'm to be honest, barely.
That's what I'm saying. So, all right, what do you don't understand?
What I'm trying to do is to create like a working definition for zones and breaks. I think when
What is the question? What you don't understand? Tell me what you don't understand.
how would you define a zone?
All right, how you define a zone is basically how the market moves. So the market moves within the structure of how the market expands. Right in front of you, for example, the market expands in different ways. Right? The market can go into a state of long, and do remember that we talk about long here.
Right.
Long here. All this is long.
And that's also a trend.
And that is also a trend.
Right.
Right? And also here, this is a short.
Right.
So what I'm saying? Because this now becomes bearish, this becomes bullish. What I'm saying to you, when all these activities happening, either be long or short and long, it doesn't matter. What matters is what we're looking at today is the lesson. How does this happen within a support and resistance? Because there's something affecting the chart in order for you to get price. So what I'm saying, there is something happening right here. Why the chart, why this candle didn't go all the way down? Why this candle stopped here? Why it didn't get as big as these ones over here? That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying here is that there is support and resistance that is taking place within price. So that's why I put the ball here, the circle right here, to help you to understand. For example, if we use this as an entry, so if none of these waves existed, so let's go here. Let's go to a 4-hour time frame. If none of this existed, there's nothing over here. And you want to know where the market is going, but it's the prediction of where the market, you think the market may be going. It's always a prediction. You may want to write that down. Nothing in Forex is guaranteed. The market can go either ways. So in itself, what you need to be looking at is what is really happening right here. What is really happening? The market is going into a trend or a state. And the markets R is taking place within a state of contracting, expanding, or going to a trend. Before it can go into all of these, any of these state right here, you need to understand that there is price, and price affects the markets differently. How price affects the market, it reflects on the candles. So you're not actually trading against candles or our charts, you're actually trading against people. So look at these markets as people. What happened here, you have, when you have all these drop here in a bearish trend going down, that tells me that you have more sellers in the market than buyers. So the sellers believe that the market was going to go down, and which it did, so they sell it off. They sell off Great British Pound versus USD. That's what they did. But what we're looking at is how the market, how the charts is the way it is right now. And I'm telling you that in order for you to understand how the market moves, it moves within support and resistance. And this is known as market structure, how the market is structured. And within market structure, it goes into a contraction, expansion, and into a trend. There is support and resistance taking place within price. And I'm also saying to you that right here, support and resistance is taking place. And when it breaks, let me go here. And when it breaks again, and when it breaks right here, this is called a breakthrough, gone into a different time zone. Same time zone, but different high. My bad. So right here, that's how you get it. And when it breaks right here, it goes into a different high, which is right here. And it continues. It continues to go into a uptrend, and they're down, up, stop here, and it continue up again. So we have to do our next lesson on this. This is known as higher highs and lower lows. So as the chart is moving, it's going to different zones, and each area is known as zones as price moves. And you will see that within the price moving, within support and resistance, it is doing contraction, expansion, and it goes into a trend. Same thing. So right up here, this is known as a higher timeline. So this is right here, this is a trend. If you want to draw a trend line from here down here, it tells me that the market's still going down into a bearish state. But you need to know that right now, how the market is doing that. And the market is doing that to support and resistance. So what I'm saying? That's what's happening right now in the market. So you have to look at market structure, and then you have to look at support and resistance, because it plays out in every currency pair that you trade. It will happen. So one thing you need to understand is that the higher highs, higher lows, lower lows, and go all the way down. So that's why these are the terminology that you use in Forex trading. And all these areas is known as zones. So what you need to be thinking about is right here. Imagine this is price and it moves in up, down, up, down, up, down, and then it breaks here, go into a different zones, go up here, price happen right here, goes down, up, down, contracts, expand, breaks here, go into a different zones, contracts, go across, expand, retest, continue up. That is what is happening right here. So I want you guys to be able to read the charts like that. Do you plot a zone? I don't understand what you mean plot a zone. What do you mean plot a zone? Somebody asked me, do you plot a zone?
For you to identify a zone, Alex Latoya here, I'm talking about you have to place the two lines, the support line and the resistance line. And my understanding is that what's happening between the support and resistance, that's a zone. So I'm trying to identify how do I place, find a zone to read on the thing. How do I where do I place the support line or the resistance line at any given time?
Where do you place it?
Yes, to form a zone.
You place it, you can start it from anywhere in the chart. Anywhere you want to start from. So it depends on your entry point. So if you look at it, you need to look at how are you going to actually enter the market. So we just use that as an example. We use that as an example. So the entry point in the market can be whenever you're ready to enter the market. What is the market happening at that point in time? So that chart right there is happening. That illustration is to show you the prediction of what may happen in the market.
Okay.
Understand? So the chart, when I do the chart a while ago, it is to show you what is happening or what can happen in the markets. But you need to focus on the structure. And then this is why I start this here. Sunday, today. That's why I started the structure today, as relates to market structure and support and resistance. So we're gonna touch on that on the next class again. I don't expect you guys to get it one time. I really don't. This is your first lesson on market structure and support and resistance. So I'm gonna touch on it on the next class again, because we have one more week to go. And then I want you guys to look as it relates to price and how we're gonna do entries. And you're gonna take about your take profits and your stop loss, right? And within all of that, your take profit and your stop loss, you're gonna see how the market structure works in terms of expansion, contractions, and going to a trend, and how you can actually figure out based on the analysis of what the time zones are doing, the different zones is working with price, because price affect the market right through, right? So we're gonna do that again. Yeah, so we're gonna touch on support and resistance again with price again, entry point, stop loss, and take profits. How do you do that? So I'll upload the video. You guys can watch it again, digest it some more. Know that you have higher highs, higher lows, lower high, lower lows. And all that is happening within support and resistance and affecting price. Price is affecting everything in the market, right? I got like 2 minutes on the call, like 1 minute on the call. Any more questions? Somebody says recording is saving my life. It is. There's not enough time, guys, to go through everything, but I can touch on it. You know what I mean? I can touch on it, and it takes time to learn Forex. It really does, right? Don't think that you're gonna just catch it overnight like that, right? It takes practice, right? So you can watch this sometime. I'll send you guys some more information on support and resistance as well. All right. I got 30 seconds on the call. I hope today was insightful and like, you know, open your mind, like what is this all about? But now you're exposed to it. So please watch the video again and write the questions down. We're gonna touch on it in the next class again. All right. So the next class, we're gonna be looking at tweezer formation as well, and support and resistance and market structure. We're gonna touch on it in the next class. All right, guys, thank you so much. See you at the next class. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.